And we are live. What is going on? Traders, how are we doing today? Welcome to another Sunday Stock Talk, where we go live every single week. We talk to you about our game plan for this week to come and any good plays that might be happening, as well as the overall market conditions. We're going to talk about the Qs, the NASDAQ, Bitcoin, and we're going to talk about gold. A lot of different ways you can benefit from this. So I'm looking forward to sharing it with you all. All that I ask, simple. Subscribe to the channel if you find value in what I'm doing here. Join our team of LTE members and smash that like button so more people just like you who want to learn more about how to be more consistently profitable day after day in the stock market. Smash that like button. That's all you got to do. All right, guys. So give me just a moment here. We're spreading my link around, getting everyone on board here. Our Discord has been growing rapidly. Oh my goodness. We have so many new members, so many new faces, and so many new opportunities for teaching you all how to trade successfully. All right. Link is spread. Facebook group, Facebook private group, Investing for Beginners community, also growing very nicely. Over 72,000 members in that community. Guys, I am excited. How are you guys? How are you guys doing? How's your weekend going? Hope you guys are all having a fantastic weekend. I know I certainly did. It's always a good weekend, guys. Drop in the comments, what did you guys do this weekend? You guys do anything fun? Guys go anywhere awesome? Were you guys cracking down and learning, reading, watching videos and learning how to trade? All right, here we go. Links are spread. Everyone is now aware we are live. QQQ is selling off, guys. What is so crazy about that is the simple fact that we called it out. We called the sell-off at these highs on Monday, and I thought, you know what? If it sells off, we are going to buy SQQQ. Now, it's crazy. It pushed up midday, a nice bull run, nice little reversal here at the 531 mark. So kind of got that resistance line going on here, right? Nice rejection, and it was a huge rejection, nice and clean, from 531 to lows of 519 after hours for a 2.5% sell-off. Now, guys, on that Friday morning live stream, I wanted to trade SQQQ. I almost bought it at these 2750 levels. We ended up trading some other companies, locking in, was it 1%? We locked in 1% on Friday. So you can check out that live stream, 100% free. All you have to do is be a Discord member. And in order to be a Discord member, you smash that first link in the description. You become a member, 100% free, lifetime membership, okay? And it won't be free for long, guys. So get in now while it is free, so you won't have to pay for it later. So, guys, okay. So I saw this, right? I saw this huge pushback, and I was like, whoa, that's odd. It's bouncing at 2750. Previous areas where it's bounced before, if you kind of zoom out a little bit, got to $32. So it actually pushed up from those lows to highs 6.3%, shorting the NASDAQ. That's $1.76 per share, and I almost bought 100 shares. That would have been $170 on Friday. Now, again, when it's like this and there's really no clear sign of direction, I don't really like trading it, right? We've traded it in the past. Here's a few of my trades. And again, we showcase how to mess with your trade settings. If you didn't watch that video, definitely check it out. But basically, recap, trade settings right here. If you right click on chart settings, trade settings, you go down to weekly trading record. That's going to be your ticket there. Now you could also go compact, you can go classic. I usually do classic when I do my trade charts. All right, so guys, SQQ pushed up. Does this mean it can push up even more? Yes, it does. Now if QQQ maintains this rejectionary period, it can go all the way back down to $500. Why? Because it's done it before. Okay, there's nothing new to the NASDAQ recently where it gets these huge push-us up, right? It's just been a volatile market right now. If we look at the daily, huge bull run over the past couple of years. And then recently, since it's touched $538, right? We're talking about the NASDAQ, guys. It pushed down, hit this moving average, pushed up, went down, pushed up, went down, pushed up, went down. It's consolidating. It doesn't know what to do. It doesn't want to go any higher than 538. And right now, it won't go any higher than 530. So we can actually take that resistance off, push this to 530, and there's our resistance, right? And also, we're due for a little bit of a pullback. Recently, haven't you noticed how it'll push up and it'll come back and touch the 200-day moving average? It'll push up, come back down and almost touch, push up again, come back down and touch that moving average. So the 200-day moving average is a great support when we're in a bull market. Now this can come all the way down to 500. It could also come all the way back down to 480s, 490s, back to that 200-day support level. Now this would be a great opportunity for anyone who can see this clearly happening, because then we can trade SQQQ and still potentially make 10 to 15% profit when the market sells off. Now there are a lot of long-term investors who are all about, I'm just gonna wait for the market to recover. I'm gonna pull my money out, stay cash heavy, and go long when it does recover. But guys, we've had bear markets lasting a year, 6 months. Why waste your time? Why wait on the sidelines when we can play both sides? So recently when the market pulled back, it touched this moving average. And as you can see, on a different level, QQQ very bullish above that moving average, and SQQ below the moving average, experiencing it to be very bearish. And that's great. That means we're in a good market. Stocks are doing great. It has been for a long time, and it's going up. This is not something I would hold long term, guys. These are day plays. Okay, these are day plays, week plays. Nonetheless, if it continues to push up and the NASDAQ sells off, SQQ can go up even higher, over 32% in profit, $9 per share, back to those $38 levels. It's done it before. Now again, SQQ is a little risky. You're betting against a market, and the market does not have to sell off. It could actually rebound like it has in the past. There's a couple more support levels here that we're going to talk about, okay? There's a support at 518 and there's a support at 516, okay? If it breaks 518 and 516, then we can see even more selling pressure. It's already broke through this support, which really showcases the fact that it's not a strong support at all. Okay, even this level, that's not strong. That wasn't strong, even though it had a very nice consolidation. It sold right through that consolidation. This was not a strong support, right? It broke through that support. So now it has two more supports. If it can't hold, it'll break. If it can hold, then it'll do exactly what it did previously. It'll bounce off of this area, and we'll push up back to 530s. 2.71% profit if it rebounds. Now, if it does rebound, you can invest in TQQQ. This is a triple leveraged ETF for the market, right? Looking very bearish, same thing as Qs. But if it pushes up back to where it previously was, 6% profit, back to those highs, 9% profit. Okay. Now, I hope this isn't too confusing. Basically, what I'm showcasing is the NASDAQ market and how you can play both sides, whether it sells off, invest in SQQQ, or if it begins to rally and go up, you can invest in TQQQ. Both extremely cheap compared to the relative, price of QQQ, which is $522, right? You can go for the market with about 82 bucks a share, or you could bet against the market right now for about $29 a share. And this is what we showcase every day on our live stream. We wait for confirmation. If there was confirmation that this was actually going to rebound, I would have invested in it. But we traded a few other different companies. On Friday, we traded Lunar. This had a nice low of 22.40, went up to 23.80, and we traded NLSP, going from $2 up to $3.40. An amazing run. I do believe we traded Sound. No, we did not trade Sound. That was a little too risky that day. So I think I only had 2 trades that day. Oh, Mara. And we traded Mara's candle right here. Beautiful entry and exit really quickly, buying those lows, selling at that high. So, and then it sold off. Nonetheless, this week, guys, that is the NASDAQ update. Now, Bitcoin also has some news. Bitcoin is selling off. Bitcoin went from 105,000 all the way down to 96,700. I do keep everyone updated in the Discord of the highs and lows. So when we get to a crazy high level like this, see how my alert's set? And then when we get to a low or it crashes, it went below this 104, so it's sold off to 101. It could not maintain 101 support levels. As you can see there, you could very, very plain as day see those levels here. It couldn't hold through those levels and sold off even more. Now it's finding some support at 96.7, 96.8, right around that level. A little bit of spread, but why? Because it's been there before. If we go out to the 4 hour, okay, it's been to this support level before many times. There's a lot of volatility, not only in the market right now at overbought levels, but in Bitcoin at overbought levels. Neither the NASDAQ, neither the stock market nor crypto market want to really push to those higher highs just yet. They want a little more consolidation, and there is a lot of fear and greed in the market. It's kind of a little bit of both angles, right? We could look at the VIX index real quick. And as you can see, we do track the VIX index, the fear and greed index of the market. When it's above the 200-day moving average on that daily indicator, it is very greedy. That means people are putting money into the market. They're infusing money. They're putting money in. When there is fear in the market, people are actually selling positions, taking a little bit more out, a little bit more cash heavy, and there is a lot less buying going on. So right now we are right on that edge of fear and greed, which is basically buying pressure and selling pressure. Again, we've been dealing with this for a while. The last time we had a really good push up with that fear greed index was this last push up from QQQ hitting that 538 level. So a few key indicators there. Take it however you want, but we are overbought, guys. We are so overbought that every time we test these highs, we get rejected. Test these highs, get rejected. Now we're actually to the point where we are back below that 200-day moving average on Bitcoin. It's holding at 96.8, but if it can't stay above this 200-day moving average like it did here, it's just going to have a huge rejection back to 90,000. If it can't hold 90,000, then we can get a push all the way back down to $77,000, guys, or even $50,000, where it was for quite an amount of time, right? But if it sticks with this 200-day moving average, we're looking at maybe $80,000. And if it pushes down to 80,000, then heck, we can actually load up, get a significant amount of money loaded here. And when it rallies again from these 80,000 or $77,000 levels back up, we can get a 40% profit by simply waiting for confirmation that this is actually going to rally. Right now, all I'm seeing is consolidation. And on the daily, this isn't looking good because it's actually coming back down to those $90,000 levels. So by being patient and being a little cash heavy, then you can wait for these opportunities, buy the dip, and sell that rally. That would be a nice 20% profit from $90,000 levels. Now maybe you're saying, oh, I have $90,000 to put into Bitcoin. Well, you don't necessarily have to. There are programs like Robinhood, I think Coinbase, and not WEBULL yet, where you can actually buy fractional Bitcoin, right? You could put $100 in here. Imagine putting $100 in at 90,000 and then say maybe a week, a month or so, and sometimes even just a matter of a couple days, it can go up 20%, and hey, you make $20 on $100. Not bad. Wait for it to sell off, do it again. Now $1,000, you make $200. You got $1,000 to put in Bitcoin in the 90,000 range and it goes up, you make some money. But also just know that this is a very, very volatile company. It's at overbought levels, just like the Qs, and this can very easily, experience a pullback. Okay, even more than 90,000. This can go down to 80 or even 77. So, all right, so guys, let's talk about MARA. We've traded it quite a few times. MARA was something that you can trade, $20 a share. This thing would push up $2, $3, $4 in a day or two, or even a week, and you can make a very nice amount of money. Now, it's also had days where it pushes up, not only 1 or 2%, but it'll push up 6, 7%, sometimes even 15% in a single day. There's a 10% move there. And right here recently, that was a nice, let me get my angles right. This one right here to here, that was a 5% move. So, you know, even 5% on 100 is, well, it's only $5, but on 1,000, it's $50, right? So buying those opportunities and those levels when you see when you know it makes sense. So this does track Bitcoin a little bit. Recently, there is a lot of decay, there is a lot of depreciation in the share price, diluting shares, etc. So at once, when Bitcoin was at 100,000. This is trading at $30. Okay, be aware of that. MSTR, again, another very famous company that tracks Bitcoin. It's not going to be doing very well if Bitcoin comes back down, especially since Michael Saylor bought like so much at these all-time highs. I don't understand why he would do that. He's also diluting shares and then betting his shares or getting loans against his shares at 0% interest. So there's just a lot of dilution going on right now. Nonetheless, those are two companies you can use to trade if you're going long on Bitcoin. Now, if you feel like Bitcoin is going to significantly go down and you want to not necessarily wait for that confirmation, you see an active sell-off with Bitcoin, you could actually trade BITI, which is a pro share of shorting Bitcoin. You could actually see recently when this pulled back from this $35 level to $47 level, that was a 36% profit, okay? Now, if Bitcoin does sell off, this can very easily go back to that moving average for a 62% profit, $13 per share. You could literally almost double your money, right? Almost double your money if you short Bitcoin, okay? All very risky. Now, we talked about the overall NASDAQ market. We talked about Bitcoin. Let's briefly talk about gold, and then we will go into the setups that I feel are going to play out this week. Now, gold looking really nice, finding that support. If we go ahead and get rid of this line, and let's say, well, we can go ahead and get rid of this one, bring this down a little bit here. It looks like it did find that support. Previous support levels on gold, as you can see very clearly, a lot of bounces and a lot of consolidation at $15. Now, it has been as high as $21, $23, and even $24 in the past, but finding that, you know, resistance more or less in those $20 levels recently. So I would say $20 would probably be a really good next resistance. I'd say 19. Honestly, 1950, right in the middle. 1950 is a resistance. Now, it can get rejected on this 200-day moving average, but it's looking like a nice little setup from those lows already of, you know, 1530 to highs of 1682. That was a 12% profit, or $2 per share on somewhat of a cheap company. Now, if this does decide to keep going up, gold, again, if gold goes up and rises, and sometimes it does that when the stock market falls. People are taking money out of the stock market and then they're putting it into the gold market or the crypto market. But if it does continue to go up, we can get to those highs of even $20. Even this moving average, guys, even just this little green moving average here to $17, that is 8.5% profit for gold. Okay, if it can go up to all-time highs, that's a 30% profit on gold and would make a nice little trade for us following the 3 stages of reversal. We have the rejectionary period, right? This downtrend that seems to be happening right now. Then we have this consolidation period where it just gets like really choppy. And then now we're starting to see signs of confirmation, okay? We're starting to see signs of confirmation. It's not making lower lows anymore. It's not making higher highs. But right now it's testing this moving average. Oh, I'm sorry, this resistance at 1682, and if it could break that resistance, we can get a very nice move where it's a 3 stages of reversal setup, okay? That was gold. Now, JNUG also is for gold, so again, as gold pushes up, this pushed up to from $35 already to $47 on JNUG. That's a 40% profit, okay, guys? That's insane. That is an insane profit. Now, it can continue to go up even more. Again, if gold continues to rise, we can see another 28% profit. Now, it doesn't mean it has to, right? As you can see here, it's catching up, starting to fall into this resistance area where you'd want to sell and lock in profits, which means JDST, a lot of companies here, guys, JDST would be, and I've traded it before, would be the one to play if gold sells off. So gold gets rejected here. We're going to flip it a little bit, okay? That's what we do. We don't predict the market here. What we do is we trade the direction. So if direction is bullish that day, then we trade bull. If the direction is bearish, then we trade bear, or sometimes maybe not even take a trade at all. Okay, I want you to be aware of that. I'm not an investor. I do not buy and hold these and wish for the best. Okay, I am a day trader. I get in and out of positions, usually within, sometimes 5 seconds, 5 minutes, or I can hold them anywhere to 2, 3, 4 hours, but never overnight. I've been burned too many times where you think direction's in your favor, it sells off, and you're down, 10, 15, 20% on your position size, and now you're starting the next day in a negative, and now you're starting with you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole. You have less money to use on your day trades because you rolled it over and now it has to settle. Guys, it's a downward spiral when you start trading overnight. Now, there are other people. My trading style isn't for everyone. I do want to say that right away. I'll never tell you that my trading style is perfect or the only one to use. But what I do here is try to show you fundamentals and give you a basic understanding of market conditions and how you can use resistance levels and some indicators and trend lines, moving averages, etc., to be able to better understand the direction of the market, to where then you can trade the market and actually become profitable. You know what I mean, guys? You know what I mean? Right. So if it does begin to retrace, right, resistance levels, it's done it before. It can pop up a little bit to that $50 mark, come down to 35. If that does happen, then JDST is going to go up from this support level. As you can see very clearly, it's bounced off of that support and rode back up to that resistance level, which would be what? Also right around the 200-day moving average, which that's very common. Now, if it does, that's a 30% profit or $7 per share. You buy 100 shares of this at $2,300. It pushes up to 31, $3,100. You're making literally $800 in profit. Shorting gold, going long on gold. However it is you see the direction is how we're going to play it. Now, I have information on how you can actually scale into these accounts to where you're not just going super heavy, you're buying at a high and then you get burned. It's all about scaling. You're buying 10, 20 shares, and as you see confirmation of it going up, you add more, you add more, you add more, right? That's the way we become a successful trader. We're adding more at specific levels. It breaks this level, we're adding to that yellow line. It breaks this level, we're going to add some more shares. And as it begins to go up, we are adding more shares to where eventually we then can ride this wave up and it starts seeing some resistance. And then right there is where we would want to take profits and sell all of these little pieces that we had showing confirmation that it was going up. And that's what's so great about the ability to trade in the day, having money on hand to take advantage of these opportunities. Because if it does go up and we put 10 shares in here, right? Just 10, not 100, just 10, and it gets rejected, then we can get out very easily. There's a lot less emotion when you have 10 shares in a company than when you have full size 100 shares, 200, 300 shares. And you're also going to lose less too if you're wrong. So keeping your risk very small, right? 10 shares is only $160. Maybe you take a 10% loss, you lose 16 bucks. Compared to buying 100 shares at $1,600, and maybe you're losing 100 bucks like that. And maybe you have $1,600 less to use on your next trade setup. Okay, it's all about being smart with our trades. Now, I wasn't trying to make this an informational, educational, whatever video. I have plenty of those. But the overall markets, it's Sunday Stock Talk, and I do appreciate your guys' time. I know a lot of you are probably still watching. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Now, last but not least, we went over all those conditions, gold, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin. Looks like we are at 24 minutes, okay? I like to make these about 30 minutes long, so let's go ahead and look at some of these conditions here on Tesla on the 1 hour, okay? The daily, I think we should stay on the daily here. Daily, a little bit of green, huge rejection candles, so this actually, Tesla could actually sell off a little bit more. AMD at those support levels, so, let's see. Can it hold support and begin to rally? Definitely could. Doesn't mean it has to. It could actually sell off even more, okay? Nvidia also at those support levels. Let's see if it pushes up and rallies, or do we get more selling pressure and lower lows. Google pushed through its resistance level, right, on Friday. This was its resistance, had a lot of consolidation and pushed through. Is this going to be an area where it gets rejected, or is this going to actually stay bullish and kind of retest, bounce off of this line, and then go up to higher highs? I'm very excited to see what happens with Google. It is one of those bullish companies that I like to watch. Microsoft, same thing. A lot of consolidation, is now below that 200-day moving average. It had a very nice sell-off previously from 466 down to 384. That was a 17% discount for any long-term investors or swing traders that see, benefit in this in the long run. Now we're back to that key critical area, 415. It can go down to 405 and we can get a bounce, or very easily it can actually begin to sell off even more. So excited to see what happens with Microsoft. Meta pushing up way past where its previous support level was. So we're actually going to take this support level up, create a resistance line at 710, and we're going to see what happens here. Are we going to get a rejection, a sell-off back to these moving averages, or are we going to get a nice little swift pullback and then rally up to higher highs on Monday? Excited for that. Amazon also pushing higher than its resistance level, so that now becomes a support. Excited to see what happens if it does break that 241 resistance that it's created for itself, or do we get some more pullback to that moving average. Apple, also look at this move here. Apple finding support levels at 220, pushing up to 260, okay guys, and then very nice, very clean push all the way back down to that 220 level. Like, you can't make this up. Patterns do tend to repeat themselves, and when you see this pattern form, you can buy at 220, sell like again at the 260s for a nice 18% profit, or $40 per share. Now, if Apple does that again, it looks like it already had started pushing from 219 all the way up to 247, was a 12% profit, $28 per share. And now, of course, seeing that big red candle, huge sell-off back to that moving average. Are we going to see a nice little dip again back up to those 248 levels? That'd still be a nice 7% profit for anyone interested in that company, okay? But we're setting up our resistance levels, our support levels, and if you guys are lost and this is a lot of information, check out our Learn to Earn library. Okay, it's our Learn to Earn lesson library. We talk about all of these things: support levels, resistance levels, moving averages, VWAP, technical indicators like MACD and RSI. We got our level 2 order book data that you do. It is a subscription on WEBULL. It's like $2.99 a month. And yeah, this is what we do, guys. Okay, so these ones influence the market. So if they all begin to sell off in red, QQQ will sell off. If they're all green and they're doing great, QQQ will begin to go up. Now, a couple stocks that I watch every single week, really, the only one I necessarily even like to trade at this point. Obviously, I trade the SQQQ, TQQQ. I trade gold through JNUG and JDST, but these are really the only companies I like to trade. So we got SoFi, SOFI, highs of 18, lows of 15. If it can hold this support, we can see a nice bounce from 15 to 16, maybe 11% profit. But this can also sell off, okay? Very risky. SMCI, again, one of those companies that has had some really nice movement from 27 to $122. I think everyone's anticipating that push back up, that rally. A lot of bag holders up in the 120s, the 100s. Even looks like the 70s. A lot of bag holders waiting for that to dip back up, guys. So lows of 17. It went from $17 to highs of $48 in a month, making over 176% profit. So everyone's anticipating a big move up from SMCI now at these levels that it previously was at. Maybe, maybe not. Only time will tell. Very excited to see what happens, even on the daily range. That's why I love day trading so much, because on a bigger scale, it's not really moving if you're investing long term. You may actually even be losing money if you're investing in SMCI long term. But on a daily level, look, to this on Thursday, there was a lot of consolidation. There wasn't really a move there, so you don't look at it. And then the following day, Friday, look at this move. A little sell-off, a bit of a rejection. People noticed that it crossed over these moving average, and what happened? They bought in, went long on SMCI, made 7% profit, $2 per share. And guys, we could have ate up this. We could have bought 100 shares, 2,800 bucks, sell it at 3,000, and you make a quick 200 bucks. It's like buying and selling a car in the same day, right? $2,800 car, you sell it for 3,000, you make 200 bucks. You know, I mean, it's simple when you look at it hindsight. The emotions are there when you actually start playing it out. And you're like, well, maybe I'll just take profit here. Maybe I'll just take profit here. You know what I mean? So very interesting. Or doubling down at this moving average and then it's selling off. So yeah, very interesting. We're at a key level here, though. SMCI, if it holds this $28.58 support, we could see some more upward momentum on that. LUNR, another company I like to watch, holding that support level at 21. If it goes below 21, obviously we will wait for it to pull back to 20. But this could also push up to those $23, $24 levels, even $25 levels very easily. It has done it like this day. It did it very nicely from $22.50 to $23.89, a 6% profit. XPEV, again, setting up for potential reversal here as well. $15 to about $16. That's a 5% profit on XPEV. And then we have Sound. I know a lot of people are influenced on Sound. We actually also traded. We traded it at these levels here between 15 and 17. But again, we don't hold any positions overnight, so we're able to take opportunities like from this 1274 to 14. That was a 14% profit in a single day. This can actually sell off a little bit more, so I want you guys to be aware of that. It can go back to those $12 levels. But yeah, I'm excited. Does it break through 15 and maybe go back up to $17 for a nice 24% profit? It's very possible. Or we wait. It sells off to those $12 levels. And we wait to buy some more, guys. So Sound is definitely on our radar. And then Coca-Cola, not doing much. I figured I'd do, you know, these companies are kind of small cap, mid cap. Thought I'd do a large cap company. And Coca-Cola, we've actually drew this trade plan out like, I don't even know at this point. We drew it out in November. So it's actually been 2 months we've been watching Coca-Cola consolidate at these support levels of $60. It got to highs of $72, and we're just waiting for this thing to basically do something. Somebody poke it with a stick because it just wants to consolidate. It keeps getting rejected at $64. If it could break $64 and get back up to the $72 levels, we can see a 13% profit or about $8 per share. But right now, it's at that area where it's actually probably just going to get rejected again, come back down to $60. And hey, even that's a nice play, because if you go from 60 to 64, that's a 5% profit on Coca-Cola, which is a pretty decent company, and it actually pays a dividend. So there's also a little small benefit there, 48 cents per a 3-month period. Other than that, guys, that is our Sunday Stock Talk, our game plan for next week. These are the only 5, because Coca-Cola is not doing nothing, right? But really, these are the only 5 companies I'm going to be watching. I may trade only one of these companies tomorrow morning on the live stream, maybe 2, depending on direction. But this is really all we're looking at. Now, if we wanted to look at a few of the top gainers of after hours here, BHAT, wouldn't necessarily trade any of that. Let's see, free float, 5 million free float here on this one. It's below $1 though. This one has 3 million, $5. So PRTG possible. Yeah, that's kind of all I'm seeing for pre-market momentum trades for right now, right? That doesn't really mean anything. PRTG doesn't have to go up. It could actually sell back off. But if it does sell off, maybe these 470 levels, maybe get a nice rally back to 5, maybe even to 6, you know, make $1, $2 per share. So PTRG, I'm actually going to add to my day watch list just because it could be a continuation play from Friday. And that's probably going to be it. Let's see, what's the free float on this? 3 million. 3 million free float. Okay, SOPA, S-O-P-A actually looks interesting to me as well. So there's a couple of companies that we're going to look at pre-market Monday morning. And so yeah, that's the companies that we're going to be looking at, guys. Very simple. NSLP may have a little rally here at this level, so actually we're going to be watching this one as well. We traded on Friday pre-market, made 20 something dollars off of it. Just a real quick 20%, guys. Or it was 10%. It was 10%. I bought it 2, sold it like 250, made 10% profit. It was awesome in like a minute. So we got that one as well. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to be looking at a few companies on Monday and the other ones. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Sunday stock talk. If you guys have any stocks you want me to look at, drop them in the comments below and we could take a look at them real quick before we end the live stream. Looks like Bitcoin pushed up from 96 to 98, now finding kind of like this 98.5 wall kind of going on here. All right, look at that. Look at that. Making lower lows, selling off. Can't maintain, can't go up any higher, so we'll see what happens. Nonetheless, if you guys got this far into the live stream, then you really want to learn about day trading. I recommend you join our Discord. We just passed over 400 members, and to think a couple of weeks ago, we were sitting at about 200. When I started the Discord at the beginning of the year, there was just one person. It was me. I started it. So we're growing very fast. We're getting 20 to 50 new Discord members every single day who want to learn more about investing and how they can actually start making profits and consistent daily profits every single day. Remember, 1% a day is very possible with any account size, and that will compound over time. 252 trading days a year. That's 252% profit, guys, with compounding and in reinvesting those next levels, right? Starting with 100, moving to 500, moving to 1,000, moving to 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. Before you know it, trading 100,000 at 1%, making $1,000 a day. It's very possible, guys. But you got to learn how to play the game first. If you want to learn, join that Discord, 100% free, lifetime access. And if I ever do decide to make it a paid service, you won't have to pay for it because you're already in. Early access, 100% free. If you want to watch me trade as live as tomorrow, that is going to be how you do it. Subscribing to this YouTube channel and joining our Discord so you get the alert when I do go live at Market Open. Thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, guys. Go enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Let's get after it this year. Let's all end the year on a green note. That means being disciplined and, understanding risk management and proper direction of the market overall. Okay, guys. So again, appreciate your time, and I will see you all in tomorrow morning's live stream. See you there.